was born in sin like crazy, basket case and all. At 11 years old, lust and curiosity summoned me from a bush's flickering flame. The last stall of an empty church bathroom was where I became addicted to myself. Past altar calls where I call to God to alter what I do. Past altars and idols, past altars and idols. My lips heralded Christ's life like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Yet I desired acts before romance, like that wasn't why he bruised for my core in the end at night. Loneliness held hands with my lack of self-control to forge golden calves of self-pleasure. Marriage bed left only enough space for threesomes, me, myself, and Egypt. Yet you ask if masturbation is sin. Well, let me interrogate the pulsing tablets behind your chest. If it screams conviction, then man, when will you heed God and cast down the rod from thy hand? I could call out the ladies, but their ringtones are usually on denial, but shh. Maybe y'all can hear me better once you put your vibrators on silent if you're single. If you're single, your body is for God. If you're married, it's for your husband to share, but temples can easily turn playground when toys interfere. Your discipline can erode if you keep unwrapping your gift improperly. Even your hands can become trespassers until what used to be private areas now becomes public property. No wonder your punctuation discernment is off. Sideways smiles got you open like one parenthesis, so much so that you forget to pause, like a comma when he tries to make it a point to get under your curves without popping the question first. But hey, no one can really find a place in the scriptures that speaks directly against it. But I don't recall parents carrying signs that say, "Don't kidnap my children." You simply know this because you understand the love of a parent. What more, the love of a jealous God? I'm not lying. See, masturbation is one of the few acts you can break all of the 10 Commandments at one time. Check it. 1, thou shalt not have any other gods before me. When your need to please you supersedes your need to please him, you have voted yourself idol without auditions or rounds, so too. Thou shalt not worship created images. But let's be honest, you get creative when you get into it. For instance, the figures you paint on top of your dome, you make Sistine Chapel of your thoughts. You bootleg Michelangelo, forcing your body to praise the gallery of your imaginations until every sensation sings, "How great thou art." 3, thou shalt not misuse the Lord's name. You call yourself Christian, yet consistently practice this sin. So what more can I say? 4, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Well, that's broken because instead of taking time off of your work in sin to rest in him, you keep clocking in and restlessly work to acknowledge you, seeking paydays in the format of an orgasm. 5, honor thy mother and thy father. You've dishonored them because you perverted the design of the function that birthed you. Yet you court with the idea and engage in the act. So when you marry the sin, why do you want to divorce the consequences? 6, thou shalt not murder. Every time you fall away into this trap and constantly attempt to come back, he'll accept you, but in the process, you have trampled God's grace, spit in his face, and yes, crucified his son again and again. 7, thou shalt not commit adultery. Your body is God's and not yours, so what do you think you do when you're having sex with someone that does not belong to you? 8, thou shalt not steal. Every time you try to satisfy yourself, you're robbing God of an opportunity to satisfy you the right way, completely. 9, thou shalt not lie, but you are You're lying to your body by your actions, telling it that you have power in your hand to make you happy, and that somewhere along the line, God made a mistake. Now, is it just me, or does that sort of sound similar to the statements of a snake? 10. Thou shalt not covet. Well, like I said before, you're desiring a body that is not yours. But having sex with yourself is beyond covetous or dishonorable. It's called same-sex relations, which according to scriptures is abominable. Now, when Satan came to tempt Jesus, he beckoned for him to make bread of stone to silence his hunger, but is eating bread sin? No. The travesty is indulging in something changed from God's original design at the counsel of a liar. That is perversion. But how do we fix it? The problem is we can't, but God sent his son to willingly rendezvous with the last plague subpoenaed by our Pharaoh-colored sin. Now the doorposts of our souls can boast of lamb's blood smeared righteous God, sent deliverer who carried cross like staff, and when it was raised the water broke like the Red Sea was miracle in third trimester. That same power broke every chain 2,000 years before the song could be made. Your lust and addictions are dead chariots with salt water choked lungs, drowned by the depths of God's grace. It's not just about avoiding sin. It's about setting affections on him, convincing our hearts to play Simon Says to his spirit that leads like pillar of cloud and fire, who stretches our taste buds into welcome mat for living manna, our fountain, our rock, our unbroken promised land of a God. Today, may our journey to please you, Genesis, and our murmuring desire to please ourselves, Exodus.
There, death lost its sting, the grave lost its prize, and one of the greatest victories of our history was done. In the pit of hell, love's greatest moment was won.
So we know that you guys enjoy the content that we produce. We enjoy giving it to you. If you want to be a part of that process, if you want to be a part of allowing us to continue to give you that content with a bunch of ideas that we have, there's ideas upon ideas that we have ready to go, ready to produce. If you want to be a part of making that happen, become a patron.